Welcome back to another episode of Across the Bifrost. This is Dr. Norbert calling you from the depths of Kent, England. And with me, trying to find his way back from Kent is...
Jamie. Hello. Not a doctor yet. Yes, we're in Kent today, are we? We're in Kent. We're in Gillingham? Was that the segue?
That's it, Gillingham.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
We're in Gillingham. What the hell are we doing in Gillingham?
Gillingham had their monthly Sunday tournament at the beginning of the month. First Sunday of every month, they do a tournament there. And a number of us from London decided it was a good time to go out there. So we drove out there, and both you and I were in attendance.
Yes, a weird amount of cars drove there. I think like 2 cars and a moped went to this random Ragnarok day, which is good. It's great. So yeah, more and more people are going to this tournament in Gillingham. We go to it. I go to it quite a lot. You've been there a few times. There's a dog in the background of Norbert's stream. It's fine. Don't worry. Don't panic.
That's my little dog.
People like dogs. What kind of dogs do you have?
I have a miniature poodle.
There you go. Bet you didn't think that, listeners. Bet you didn't think Dr. Norbert was a little poodle kind of guy.
No, I love poodles. They're the best.
Yeah,
but speaking of which, I'm so glad that came up because the pet photos in our Across the Bifrost Discord have been flowing pretty regularly, and I'm sure it's aggravating you. So anybody out there who would like to add a little more aggravation to Jamie's life, do put some cute pet photos in there, which he's totally 100% against having in our server.
Listen, I muted the channel, and that's it. For listeners, I don't really care about cats and dogs. That's all it is. There's no hate. I'm glad you guys are happy. But when we took over the Across the Bifrost Discord, we gave it a big clean up. And I said to Norbert, don't worry about this channel. No one wants this channel. No one's posted it in months. And then you told everyone that I said that. And now it's one of the busiest channels on the Discord. But yeah, there we go. Cats and dogs. Okay. So is it just cats and dogs? Do we ever get any fish photos in there? Terrapins?
Well, now probably. I think there was a lizard. Somebody put a lizard one in there.
Nice.
Well, you should come visit. Everyone's welcome.
Maybe I will. All right, I'll dip my toes. Yeah. Okay. I'll have a look. Anyway, yes. So we're in Gillingham at the Ragnarok tournament. You should come if you're in that area of the world. It's really cool. First Sunday of every month. And me and Norbert got to play each other.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. We have a fun photo up in the Discord about this wacky matchup that we had, and it was a pretty fun time.
I don't know what you mean by wacky. I was playing a very legitimate Sentinels list. Thank you very much. But yeah, it was Sentinels and Thor 2 versus like your Wakanda and Hulk on Demons. It was the most, this is an E Street match I've ever played.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts.
Yeah, we spent the first 2 rounds not picking up extracts. Oh no, we did pick up, it was scrolls. We went and picked up the extracts and then had to run back to the E Street. So yeah, the first 2 rounds took about 5 minutes because we weren't interacting with each other at all. And then it was just Dice City until somebody won. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Upcoming events are still the Belgian Master. No, sorry. We're going to the Throwing Dice podcast tournament this coming Sunday.
Yes. If you listen to this now, it's in 2 days.
Yeah.
And there are still tickets left. So go to Facebook
4 tickets.
and 4 tickets. Yeah. Go to Facebook and type in Throwing Dice Pod and you'll be able to find it.
Yeah, those guys are really great. They do a lot of cool tables in particular, in addition to their podcast. And so we're looking forward to seeing them and doing their tournament. And then, then the big ones happen. So Belgian Masters, 7th through 9th of March. Please do look that information up if you want to come see an American-style con in Europe. Then we have in May 17th to the 18th, we have the 3rd chapter in the Mutant Weekender tournament that me and Jamie run here in London. And so that'll be another 2-day event that we're doing. You should come to that. And then lastly...
Some are saying it's one of the best events they've ever been to. Some are saying that. Some of them might be me. But there are others outside of this podcast that are saying that as well.
Yeah, we're hard at work putting that one already together. Yeah. And then lastly, we have Multiverse in Malmo. That is in June. I forget the dates in June, but it's in Malmo, Sweden. It's a repeat of the fantastic events that they run as well. So
the 7th and 8th of June.
Thank you, sir. So do be on the lookout for that one as well. Another great one. It's held at a microbrewery where they also do barbecue food. So it's amazing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Good times. Okay. I think that's it for notes. Should we get into the cards?
Yes. Let's do it.
Okay. Great. Today we're doing box CP152. CP152 consists of Angel and Archangel, which came back out a little while ago. And let's start with Angel. Why not?
Oh, I'm supposed to be doing my little lore drops, aren't I? I haven't done any homework for this.
Oh,
right, I talk about the lore. But hey, listen, if you've seen the best X-Men movie, The Last Stand, it's my favorite X-Men movie. Angel's in that. and he has a really cool origin, which I don't think is comic accurate at all, but it's pretty cool. You see him as a kid, like in the bathroom, trying to shave off his wings.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's ashamed of being a mutant, and his dad catches him, and it's all real sad. And then he tries to inject him with the cure, and he's like, no, and he jumps out of the bird like a glorious pigeon. He jumps out the window. It's great. So yeah, Angel is a mutant. He's part of the first class, one of the first Xavier's, I believe. Is that right? Yeah,
I think so. He's on the card.
He's on the card.
He's in the first class card.
He's one of the OG mutants. So yeah, there you go. Warren Worthington III. So he's real rich.
Ah, okay, that's where that is coming from. Amazing. Okay, cool. Rel, let's take a look at what Angel's all about then. He is on a medium-sized base, 50 millimeters. He is only affiliated with the Uncanny X-Men. His stats are 3/3/3 defenses. He's got 5 health on his healthy side, and he's got 5 on his reverse side. Size 2, medium mover, and he's a 3-threat character. Ooh, 3-threat character with those stats, I think, is rather fine. Just fine.
That is, it's probably, it's the most vanilla stat line you can have. I think that's probably the weakest version of a 3-threat.
Yes, that's true, right? Because usually they might have 6-5, right? Health.
Yeah. We keep saying this stat line is fine. This is the bare minimum, really, for a 3-threat. Actually. So, very standard. His main strength is being on a medium base.
Agreed.
Which will come up a lot. It'll come up a lot through this. But so very classic. 3-threat.
Okay. Let's take a look then at his attacks. He's got 2 of them. Both of them are physical. The first one is his as a gainer. It's called Flyby, which is a great name. It's a beam 3. That's interesting as a gainer. Beam 3, 4 dice, 0 cost. After each attack is resolved, the character gains 1 power. And then after all attacks generated by the attack are resolved, place this character within 1 of the last character targeted by this attack. So that's really kind of, well, first of all, it's flavorful, but it's also, it can lead to a lot of interesting ways to use this character.
Yeah, definitely. Previous Across the Bifrost host, Pat Dunford, is the one that sat me down. We were in a tournament in France, and he sat me down and explained to me why gainers are so good in MCP. So Spectacular Spider-Man was his example, because when you do a gainer, you know exactly what's going to come afterwards. The dice don't matter. And this is one of those attacks. And because it's a beam gainer, you gain a power after each attack in the beam is resolved. So if you beam 2 or 3 people, you're going to get 2 or 3 power guaranteed. And you know where you'll end up because you get to choose the order of the targets in the beam.
Yeah.
So you can, if imagine there's a line of people in front of Angel and you want him to end up at the end of the beam, you just attack that target last. If you want him to kind of stay where he is near the front, you just attack that target last. So same as Logan's beam.
Yeah.
This is very strong. People were down on this when it first came out because it's just 4 dice, but I think the utility this brings is really, really good.
Be careful, though, with beams and things like Trickster. It can mess you up quite easily. So the moment that anything moves out of the beam, like with Trickster or something like that, you just don't necessarily get to attack it. I'm trying to also think about things where, like if you do Bodyguard or something like that, there was another interaction that's weird with beams.
The key thing with Bodyguard is like you want to usually in a beam you want to target the character that can Bodyguard or Taunt first, because if you can daze them, then there's no Bodyguard or Taunt for the rest of the beam. If you don't, they can then Bodyguard other targets in the beam. So you can sometimes do a beam on 3 targets and you'll hit the Bodyguard 2 or 3 times. Which is especially bad here if the Bodyguard isn't where you want Angel to end up, because you place off of the last target, so it can mess that up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think about this being only 4 dice?
I mean, he's a 3-threat.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's not his job. I think guaranteed place is the power here. You can decide exactly where he ends up. So I think it's pretty cool.
All right. Also, let's keep in mind that he could gain power pretty reliably, potentially. And so later on, we'll talk about his superpowers and how he might spend that power. So keep that in mind. All right. But his other attack is his Spender. It's called Avenging Angel. It is range 3, 7 dice, and costs 3 power. After the attack is resolved, if the target character is size 3 or less, this character can throw it short. So that's in any direction. He also has a wild stun trigger. After the attack is resolved, the target character gains stun. So afterwards, not before. I think this is quite nice. I think for 3 power, the distance and the number of dice is good. The throw is automatic, no trigger. That's really quite good. Size 3 is pretty reasonable these days. Throwing it in any direction is actually very good. So I like the spender quite a bit.
I completely agree. Yeah. The 373 is something we've mentioned before. It seems to be where AMG are happy with their spenders. Like range 3, 7 dice, 3 power seems to be like, their kind of new standard. So this is very much it's the lemon and herb of the Nando's attacks. There's no piri here. It's very just standard and yeah. But that guaranteed size 3 throw, any direction, I didn't realize it was any direction. Good job you pointed that out. That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's very, very good. And if you pair that with flyby, you can theoretically spender someone, throw them any direction in the direction you want to end up, and then use flyby on them and place off of them. So it gives really you loads of control. He can pretty reliably end up exactly where he wants to be at the end of his activation.
Oh, I love that. That's a really good idea, doing the spender ahead of the builder for a change. Yeah.
Or even better, throwing them in line of a beam. So you throw them into someone and then beam the both of them.
Yes, love it. Cool. Okay. He's got 2 superpowers. They're both reactive. The first one is called Airlift. It is 2 power. During its activation, when this character begins a move action within 2 of another allied character of size 2 or less, it may use the superpower. After the move action is resolved, place that allied character within 2 of its current position and only be used once per turn. This is the same as Sam Wilson's ability, isn't it? Right?
Yes, yeah, which is worth pointing out because people always get it wrong, myself included. It's a bit misleading because the thematics is that Angel is picking someone up and then dropping them off. He's not. He's sort of just giving them a little bump. So when Angel does his move, he ends up over there, and then the character that he wants to use this on places 2 of them themselves, not of Angel.
Right.
So it's much less movement than it originally seems.
The other way around, the only one I know of is Special Delivery in A-Force. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that gives you an attack at the end as well, I think.
As well, yeah. But the point is that the flying character brings She-Hulk to wherever the flying character ends up.
Yeah, so it's not that. Yeah, it's the opposite of that. Yeah. It's worth mentioning as well, you can play this is any direction. So, Angel can he can fly north and he can airlift someone south at range 2, which is kind of cool.
Yes, that is pretty weird. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Never thought of it that way. Yeah, sure. Okay, his second superpower is also reactive. It's called Hostile Takeover. It is 2 power. During its activation, when this character begins a move action within 2 of an enemy character, it may use this superpower. After this move action is resolved, push the enemy character towards this character's short. This superpower can only be used once per turn. So, man, between this and his spender, he's really, like you were saying, a very control-y type piece. He can move people all around without their say-so.
yeah. Well, it's called Hostile Takeover, right?
Yeah,
which is another nod to him being rich or his family being rich. There you go. Yeah, so it's a business thing. This is sizeless.
Sizeless. Oh, I could have moved your Sentinels around with this guy.
Not this one, because it's a push and it's a superpower.
Oh, okay.
So you can't do that. But you can move Dormammu.
Okay.
Dormammu is a big old size 5.
All right, amazing.
Yeah.
So let's wrap up his superpowers. He's got 2. What are they called? Passives. That's it. Thanks. Passive superpowers. One is he's got healing factor 1, which is kind of random, and and flight, obviously.
The lore behind that is that his blood heals people. I think that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his blood has healing properties. So there you go. It's just nice, Healing factor 1 is cute.
Yeah,
we'll get on to where I think he gets played, but him on cubes, pretty great. Just grab a cube and heal that damage off. That's
true. That is very true. But yeah, so let's talk about where this guy fits in. Okay, remember he's an Uncanny X-Men. That's where he's affiliated. Of course, he can be taken other places. But he's all about moving people around. He can move his own people around. He can move the enemy around in 2 different ways. And what's the range of these things? So the Hostile Takeover is range 2 of the enemy. Avenging Angel attack is within 3 of the enemy. I mentioned that because, he's definitely fragile. And so having him around all these bad boys might be the tricky part of using him.
Yeah, I agree. That's the big kind of red flag here. Because I like to compare him to Beast. Mm-hmm. He's a medium base in X-Men that is very good at moving people around, moving people off points. Angel's better than Beast because he can move allies and, sizeless push and all that stuff. But he's way easier to kill than Beast. So I don't know how long he's going to be around to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. And that's because Beast has his rerolls, you think?
Beast has rerolls. He's got 4 physical defense. Mm-hmm. And
one more health on the front side.
Yes, also, he's 6'5". Yeah, so he sticks around a little bit longer.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Now, when I was playing X-Men, I did not use him. He came out after I had basically locked in my roster. Have you had some time with him on the table?
Yes, I was shouting about this guy. I said he's one of the best releases this year for X-Men, or last year. And then I played him, and it didn't feel as good as I thought on paper. Mostly because I played a lot of Logan, and I loved the kind of turn one of Logan, like placing him against opposite an extract that you don't want to pick up. Your opponent picks it up, and you can run and attack them. Obviously, with Logan, that's much better because he's doing a bunch of damage. Angel, that's not his job to do.
No.
To do damage. But the real strength is him being a medium base, which I know is kind of boring, but like a medium base in X-Men goes a long way because of the Storm Hop. The Storm leadership, you can hop a small base off of a medium base and they can get to the midline in one move, which is a big deal. And also you can do things like the kind of classic, to me, my X-Men from deployment play with a medium base can steal your opponent's scroll. Now, historically, that's always Beast. So this is just, it gives you another option, I guess. If you're a bit tired of playing Beast, I've probably played 1,000 games with Beast, so I'm kind of bored. So this would kind of, switch things up a bit. So yeah, the problem is, he's fighting against Beast and also Iceman. And Iceman, Joe Manji on our Patreon episode really, really turned me on to Iceman. And I've been playing him a lot recently, actually, in X-Men. He's pretty cool, pun intended. So yeah, he's tussling for control there. But I like Angel. I think I should be playing him more than I am. The problem with Airlift and Hostile Takeover, the two really great moving people around abilities, is it requires him to make a move action.
Yeah.
Which you don't really want to be doing with him because we both love his attacks, right? Both his attacks are great.
Yeah, because you don't want him to move either, potentially, right? Because you could just use the beam to get where you want to go instead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you'd be generating power, you'd be dishing out a bit of damage.
Yeah, that's true too.
So it's a bit of a shame. I think if it was, if Airlift and Hostile Takeover was when this character, I don't know, begins a place, not that we have that kind of wording, but yeah, begins a place, this character becomes insane because you'll be placing all the time with that flyby gainer, and you can be moving people around. But this, it means that the kind of the important stuff on his card, you bring him just for that, really, and then he's not doing anything except moving and spending that power. So it's a bit of a shame.
Do you think he's got some game on against criminals, kingpin criminals, or other characters that are just big kaijus that are sitting on points?
Yeah, huge. He's definitely great into that, especially Hellfire and Kingpin, because they take what we call potatoes, right? They take big tanky characters that tend not to hit back very hard. So Angel going towards Lizard, for example, right? He can throw Lizard, he can move Lizard off the point. With that hostile takeover, that's pretty great. And Lizard isn't going to hit him back too hard. Lizard doesn't hit that hard.
Right.
So, and then he's got healing factor. So yeah, I think there are some situations where he will really excel. Probably on something like a B map, where he's not going to take too much focus fire. He can kind of stay in one side of the map and just move about and pull people off points and stuff like that. So yeah, I think I need to play him more. That's my conclusion. I think he's got lots of really interesting tech. And medium bases are really important under Storm in X-Men. And also it's worth mentioning him under Xavier is fantastic because he's got 2 cost superpowers, so that leadership just needs to ping him a power for him to be able to do something.
Yeah.
And then those powers will then, power someone else up, blah, blah, blah. So I think he's pretty great in Xavier as well.
I was thinking...
Sorry, go on.
I was thinking that if you have a bunker type of setup, he'd be nice he could move forward within 2 of the enemy that's activated and then move right back into the bunker and bring that thing closer to potentially being attack range of the people.
That's cool. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And also it disassembles, is that the word? The opposite of assemble.
Yeah.
Disassembles the enemy bunker.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I had that problem this weekend. It was Cable and Steve together and helping their buddies always stay alive through shield and bodyguarding. It was terrible.
Yeah. So it's pretty great. So you wait for one of them to activate, Angel goes in and hostile takeover.
Yeah,
yanks them out, and then the rest of your team beat him up. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot.
Okay, yeah. I mean, again, he's definitely a support piece.
Yes, yeah.
And fragile, so you have to be clever about how you use him. But I think it's possible.
Yeah, for sure. I think he probably comes out against other crisis teams that want to stand on points, and he kind of tries to thwart their plans a bit.
I agree.
And so long as you deploy him opposite someone that isn't going to hit him too hard, I think he'll have a pretty great game.
Agreed. All right, shall we go on to his alter ego, so to speak?
We should do his tactics cards first, because there's a really cool tactics card that links the two.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah, I
just
love
one,
that
if that's
card.
okay.
So cool.
Yeah. Fallen. Yeah, let's quickly do that. Then we'll come
Do
back
Fallen
to
first?
Sorry, I'm breaking the format, but I thought this was cool.
I think it's great. I love this.
Yeah.
All right. Fallen is an unaffiliated card. It's reactive. When an allied angel would flip his stat card to the injured side, he could play the card instead. If Archangel is not in your squad, push all enemy characters within 2 of Angel away short. Then the push characters gain the bleed condition. Then place Archangel within 1 of Angel. Flip his stat card to the injured side. He is now part of your squad and gains power equal to the amount that Angel had. And then remove Angel from the game. So it is so thematic that you're basically, he's injured, and instead of just being a weakened Angel, instead he kind of explodes into Archangel.
Yeah. Such a thematic win. It's really cool. I love it. And also, worth noting that Archangel, who we're about to go on to, is a 4 threat. So you're gaining a threat here for a tactics card.
Oh, wow. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Okay, of course only on the injured side, but nonetheless. Yeah, that's fantastic. Cool.
Yeah. And I just quickly looked up the rule forum. Look at me doing my research.
Yeah.
Archangel does not need to be in your roster to play this card.
Yeah, nice
so
one.
not in your 10. So you can just, not take a Archangel and just have your full 10, and he can show up when you play this card, which is pretty cool.
That is cool. I love that.
Is it good? Don't know. Let's talk about Archangel. But it's pretty cool, right? Everyone gets pushed away, everyone gains bleed, and then you get an extra threat in your squad. I actually think it's pretty cool. It's absolutely thematic. It's beautifully thematic. So, yeah.
Yeah, and keep in mind that Angel, as we just reviewed, is the same on both sides of his card. So everything that you've heard us talking about is the same on his injured side. So it's a comparison of between his injured side versus Archangel's injured side to see what you might be gaining from using that card.
Yeah.
Did it cost money? I don't think it cost any power, right?
I don't think so. Wait,
I don't think
Fallen.
So. Yeah.
No, it doesn't cost anything.
Nice. Excellent. All right, let's talk about Archangel. Okay, he's still Warren Worthington III, so you can't have both of them on the table at the same time. Still on a 50 millimeter base. He is got different affiliations, though. He's got Servants of the Apocalypse and X-Force. So that means when he comes in, let's say in your X-Men game through that Fallen card, although it doesn't have to be X-Men, right? Fallen is unaffiliated.
Yeah, anyone, yeah.
But if he did, then he wouldn't be able to take advantage of X-Men only type of cards.
That's
and
true.
Stuff.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, the only ones that are like that are really, to me, my X-Men. Wait, so he's not an X-Man? Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, so yeah, to me, my X-Men wouldn't work on him.
Right.
But I mean, by that stage in the game, you'd probably spent it. Let's face it, all X-Men players are playing that card round 1.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Okay. So, but he's affiliated Servants of the Apocalypse, which we'll come on to, and then also X-Force. His abilities, he's got 4 physical, 3 energy, and 4 mystic defense, 4-3-4. He's got 5 hit points on the healthy side, 6 on the reverse side. He is size 2, he moves medium, and he's a 4 threat, as you had mentioned. Okay, so how do you feel about these stats in a 4 threat now? I feel like it's also a bare minimum for a 4 threat.
Yeah. Oh, interestingly, he's got 6 health on his injured side.
Yeah, he does.
I didn't know that. Okay. So yeah, so he's 4-3-4, 5 health, and then 6 health. It's fragile for a 4 threat.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll get on to the rest of his kit. This guy is the definition of a glass cannon. So he's going to die real easy, but he's going to take out some models while he does it.
Okay, let's see what he can do then. He's got 2 attacks. One, they're both physical. The first one is called Razor Wing Strike. It's range 3, 5 dice, no power. It's a builder, so you get as much power as you do damage. And he's got 2 triggers. One is a wild trigger called Toxic Flechettes. After this attack is resolved, for each wild in the attack roll, the defending character gains one of the following special conditions: bleed or poison. And then he's got a crit trigger for Overwing. After the attack is resolved, place this character within 1 of the target character. So this is interesting because he's got a bit of the maneuverability that Angel has, but a little harder to pull off. At the same time, though, he's throwing out special conditions, which is really good in Apocalypse, possibly even in with Abomination now, with poisons. And Bleed is great with the Thrall's affiliation.
Yeah.
And he gets these for each wild he rolls, so he could potentially put both on a character.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I like this attack. It's a shame that the place is on a trigger. You need a crit trigger for that.
Yeah.
Because you can't play around it. And then even worse, the much maligned, or whatever the word is when people don't like stuff, is that the place is compulsory.
Yeah.
So once you get that trigger, you're going there. So it's really hard to plan around. Anyone that's played Beast knows this pain where, you do an attack when you want to place on the other side, and you don't get your trigger and you stay where you are, or you do the opposite where you end up going in. You have no choice. You've gotten the place trigger. So he has this, which is a little frustrating because it makes it hard to plan around. But then I guess he is crazy now. Yeah. Archangel, Archangel of Death, he's pretty crazy. So maybe that's why it's unpredictable.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, Angel also has to place, but he gets to pick, if it's a beam. It is a beam, so he could pick any number of the targets. So it might be
Angel is completely in control of everything that's happening. Yeah. He knows where he's going to end up and who to hit in what order, which is pretty great. This one's a bit more chaotic, but we're swapping some of that control out for some violence. We should probably jump ahead quickly. Sorry, to Chosen of Apocalypse. That's superpower.
Yeah, so he's got a passive superpower called Chosen of Apocalypse. When this character makes an attack, it may change one die result to a hit for each wild in the attack roll. Oh wow. It's kind of like a leadership.
Crazy. A leadership. Yeah. It will feel like a leadership when it goes off. Yeah, that's one extra hit for each wild. That's crazy. Now, it's a massive slot machine, right? You're really hoping for... If anyone's played Wolverine, it's when he does his charge and the wilds count for 2, you're either going to do 28 damage or you're going to do 3 and be really sad. So this is like that. If you get even just a couple wilds, your damage suddenly goes way up.
Yeah.
And that's on every attack. So that's why I wanted to jump ahead, because his builder is just a 5 dice, right? Which is kind of fine for a full threat. It's okay. There's no pierce on it or anything, but this could potentially be extra damage because of the wild thing. So pretty good.
Yeah, totally agree. His spender is called Avatar of Death. As I mentioned, it's physical, range 3 again, 7 dice, and 3 power. He's got 1 trigger on it, a wild trigger called Neurotoxin. After the attack is resolved, the target character gains the Stagger special condition. That's good. If the target character has the Bleed and Poison special conditions, which he can give out, and it does not have an activated token, it gains an activated token instead of getting the Stagger special condition. Yikes. Wow.
That's huge. You can activate someone.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's like Iron Fist's ability, his attack, his spender attack, but that costs him, was it 8? I think 8 power.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this needs a bit of setup. People need to have Bleed and Poison. So you're hoping for some wilds on his builder. You need 2 wilds.
You need a lot of wilds. You need a lot of wilds.
There's a lot of wilds going on with this guy. If you have any dice that have extra wilds on them, use them for this guy. I think he might need a bit of help with this. Like Ultron Metal Tyrant can help, because his wild on his builder
both,
gives
right?
out Bleed and Poison at the same time. Yeah. So pair him with Ultron, then these two are going to be going around just activating people, which is pretty great. But then he still needs the wild. Archangel needs the wild to get that effect to even happen. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just a 3/7/3, which is actually identical to Angel. Angel's attack. Yeah. Who is a threat less. So this does less. This attack does less. It has the the crazy ceiling. Yeah. I think I guess that's the theme with Archangel here. Sorry, it's a huge ceiling. He can achieve so much, but he needs a lot of luck and help.
Okay. Yeah. Now in the Servants of Apocalypse faction, they give out all these conditions pretty quickly, so he may not have to do all the work himself in that particular faction.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, because that's actually pretty huge. Because Bleed and Poison, I'm just looking up the Horsemen now. Spoiler for our next episode where we go into this.
Yeah.
They can give out those conditions pretty easy. Yeah, the Pestilence Horsemen can give out Poison, Bleed. I mean, and then Apocalypse can change. Yeah, so Apocalypse can change any status condition to Bleed. So, yeah, in theory, you could give out, Poison twice. Apocalypse turns the second Poison into a Bleed, and suddenly they're lined up for Archangel activating them, which is pretty huge.
Yeah, I agree. So, I mean, I think he's really nicely slots into Servants of Apocalypse, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's go through his superpowers and then talk about him in X-Men Ned with the Fallen card. He's got an active superpower Charge. It costs 2. Basically, he gets to do a move action followed by attack action. Pretty standard. Only use it once per turn. He's got a reactive superpower called Wing Shield, which is 2 power. When this character is targeted by a physical or energy attack or is making a dodge roll, it may use the superpower and add 2 dice to the defense or dodge roll. and we've talked about this in the past. It doesn't cost very much. It's I think a fair price for that. But adding 2 dice for defense and stuff oftentimes is doesn't pay off. Basically,
Yeah, I'm still on strike about that. Have I spoken about that on this podcast yet?
I think so.
Me and AJ spoke about this. Paying 2 for 2 extra defense dice, we think is a scam because defense dice aren't very good in this game. The game is weighted towards attack dice.
Yeah.
So that if you pay 2, block nothing, and daze anyway, you're now going to wake up with 2 less power. So you've dazed and you have no power, or not. You have less power.
Yeah.
So I've been on a strike ever since, and I've not paid for that superpower on anyone for the last 6 months, unless they're literally about to KO. And it's been working out for me. I actually quite like it. So not a fan of this ability.
I believe it, and he doesn't make power that great. He has his builder, and that's it for power. Yeah. So not so great. And lastly, he's got flight as a passive superpower, as you can imagine.
Of course he does. He's made of wings.
Yeah. Are those metallic wings though? What happened to his normal wings?
Yeah, he. I'm gonna get crucified by comic book readers. I'll just tell you what happens in the film because more people know about that.
Okay.
Apocalypse finds Angel, and he's like, "Hey, I like you. I want you to be my horseman. Let me get rid of those crappy pigeon wings you've got, and I'll give you some metal wings." I think in the comics he maybe loses his wings, and Apocalypse gives them back or something.
Okay.
But yeah, so they're made of like razor sharp, like basically flechettes, I guess is the word.
Yeah.
And he fires them at people, and yeah, it's great. He can fly at like supersonic speed as well. I'm a bit disappointed he's not a long mover.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
How does he sleep with those things on?
Good question, actually.
I guess
on pigeons sleep.
On his stomach.
Fold them in.
I guess fold them in, but you have to.
I know that Angel, he folds his wings around the front of him and then wears like a trench coat.
Oh, is that how it works?
Maybe it's one of those.
Okay. Yeah. So where do we see him in Apocalypse or X-Force? As I said, I think in Apocalypse he makes loads of sense because he plays with these conditions quite well, and that's what Apocalypse wants to be doing in part anyway. He does quite a bit of damage, so I don't know which one of the horseman cards he belongs
to. He is Death and Pestilence.
Yeah. So Pestilence is the one that gives out conditions, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. So I've had him played against me as Pestilence a few times because he's a medium mover. Mm-hmm. He can kind of jump in, do the Pestilence bomb, we call it, and give out a bunch of conditions and then run back medium. Yeah. Which is pretty cool because you're doing Apocalypse's job for him. You're giving out all those conditions, and it means like later rounds you have an Archangel at the back just ready to go like bah. Because that's his whole thing. This guy is a grenade. He's going to go in and cause a bunch of damage, you hope, and then he's going to fall over. That's kind of his job. So I think you don't play Archangel if you want him to be around in round 5 and 6. You send him in to just cause chaos, and then he burns up, basically.
And then he also could be part of the Death Horseman card.
Yes.
I'm just looking at
which gives you more dice if they're hurt already. So that's pretty huge and kind of, again, plays into the whole hold him back a little bit. Wait till someone's taking some damage, then he can charge in, use the death power to get a bunch of extra dice on someone who's already hurt. And obviously this guy's dice pools, because of his per wild, you get an extra hit. It gets exponentially better. So the more dice you can give him, the more chance you have of hitting that wild trigger, which will give you more hits. And yeah, you can easily, with a big dice pool, you can easily see him doing 6, 7, 8 damage, But it's very random because you need wilds to do that.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, a bit of a slot machine on this one as well.
Huge slot machine. Yeah, if you enjoy playing Wolverine, I can't. My heart can't take it. If you enjoy that kind of game where you go, I'm going to do a Wolverine charge, and I might kill a 7 threat, then you'll enjoy Archangel. They kind of play similarly, I think, but Archangel is way easier to kill.
Yeah. Now he could also be an X-Force, and I'm just wondering if that X-Force leadership helps him out.
Yeah, I played him in X-Force.
Good. Tell us.
Yeah. It's fine. I mean, he needs more dice. That's his thing, right? So the X-Force leadership gives him a reroll, which helps him do his thing.
Yeah.
I actually brought him along for his tactics card, which we'll get to, but Battle Bound.
Okay, yeah.
Because I love Psylocke, and he has a team-up card with Psylocke, because they're a couple in the comics.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, he's fine in X-Force. X-Force game plan is just run at the enemy and deal loads of damage, and he is exactly that in a model. So, yeah, pretty great. It's just that I don't play him in X-Force anymore because my heart can't take slot machines.
Yeah.
But some people love that.
Yeah. And if I'm right, there's no abilities in the game, leaderships or otherwise, where you can get wilds. It's usually the way around, right? You get a wild and other fun stuff happens.
Well, Captain America... Steve 3 can, yeah.
He can. So he makes wilds, is it?
No, so if you roll a hit, which is the most common dice face, and then you can pay a power to turn another dice to any result.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay, yeah.
So, which is actually very good for Archangel because on his builder, he's got that range 3 builder, right? You can, round 1, you can move up towards the midline. They'll be within range 3 of you. You can hit them with the attack. And if you don't get the crit to get the place, but you want to be on the midline, you can use Steve 3's leadership to give yourself the crit.
Yeah.
To then place, and now you're in position. If you want to be, that's if you want it. But you could also just spend the power to give him a wild and do an extra damage. So yeah, the reason why that's so good in Steve 3 is because you're doing a builder. So you're paying 1 power to then get a wild, which is then doing an extra damage on most characters. So your power is refunded. But with Archangel, it's even better because you're getting the wild and then you can then turn another dice to a hit. So you're essentially paying 1 to do 2 more damage, which if you're using Razor Wing Strike, you'll then get the power. You'll make power from it.
Yep, makes sense. Now, whether he fits, being unaffiliated in Avengers with Steve 3 is another question.
Yeah, the next question is, do you do that when you have Wolverine who's an Avenger? Yeah. But if you love that kind of gameplay, I can imagine someone playing Wolverine and Archangel and having a great time, to be fair.
Yeah. It's interesting. Do you think he'll get enough power to be able to do his Avatar Death the Spender fairly frequently?
I mean, he needs his builder to go off, right? If that slot machine goes off and he does 3, 4, 5 damage on the builder, then he can do his spender.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's just so much if here, right? You can't judge this character at all because, like I say, the ceiling's so high. If Archangel, if you could choose, like, I want to roll some wilds this game and they're all going to go on Archangel, then he's going to go nuts, right? He's going to be able to do everything. So it's all just a bit dicey.
What about, now, back to the X-Men example. There he is. He pops in on his injured side, which is slightly better. How would you leverage this?
Well, he's going to come in with the power that Angel had, right?
Yes.
When dazed. So he'll probably have at least 3, 4. So he can then suddenly do his, maybe a charge and maybe a spender, which is pretty cool. So it's nice. I actually quite like that card. Now we're talking about it together. It's quite good. You're exchanging your 3 threat for a 4 threat who's powered up and has 6 health, and he's 4/3/4 rather than 3/3/3. It's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's what now that you're mentioning it, I found, not that I play them terribly well, but when I played X-Men, I would get up a lead on victory points in the first half of the game, and then usually what happened is my opponent would tend to table me or nearly table me, and I would end up losing.
That's the X-Men.
So maybe this guy then suddenly gives your back end of your game some hitting power that you wouldn't have. Yeah.
Your X-Men run out of steam, right? Past round 4, they start to fall over. So and then Archangel comes in. I love the idea of Angel kind of spending half the game, displacing models and playing a smart kind of crisis-y game, and then they kill him, and he goes, right, well, you started it. Brings out Archangel, like, I'm going to finish it. You just start, doing crazy attacks. I quite like that, because this coming into a crisis-y flank, say you're on a B map on Infinity and it's Angel versus Lizard, and then suddenly Archangel shows up, he could just, KO Lizard. Yeah. Potentially. So it's pretty cool.
I think there's all upsides actually for this, except that's another tactics card slot for X-Men to use.
That's the big part, That's the big part. I mean, if we had 10 slots, then we'd take this card every game. But you're really struggling for tactics card slots.
All right, he comes with 2 tactics cards. I'm waiting for the first one to load up. It's called Battle Bound. It's also unaffiliated. It's reactive. When Archangel begins a move action within 3 of an allied Psylocke during his activation, he may spend 2 power to play this card. When Archangel ends his move, place Psylocke within 1 of him. Psylocke may immediately perform one of her attacks for a cost of 0 power. So she can't do her spenders and things. So this is just like I was talking about. This is like special delivery in A-Force. Yeah. But it's with Psylocke.
Yeah, it's with Psylocke. And it's within 3. So if Psylocke is 3 away from Archangel, he can grab her, move medium, and then she places within 1 of him. It's enormous. It's huge. It's like a whole flank switch on a B map.
I didn't think about that.
Which is when I take it. So it's great. And then she gets to make an attack. And Psylocke's attacks are great. And she has an unlimited, no one really talks about this, an unlimited reroll superpower. So telepathic precognition. She can spend any amount of power to reroll dice.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Sure. I was just taking a look at Psylocke. Her affiliations include Apocalypse, Servants of Apocalypse, Uncanny X-Men, and X-Force. So she could be found everywhere Archangel can be found.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we love from a team up.
Yeah. So team-up cards are a little tricky sometimes, but this one seems quite reasonable.
This one's good. Yeah, usually team-up cards are kind of like fluffy flavor, right? They're cool and they're not very good, but I think this is actually very good.
Yeah.
There's also a trick that Harry, who's one of our local X-Force players, taught me, which is on Infinity Formula. People might not know this, actually. So X-Force have a card called Cat and Mouse. Yep. So when you deploy, you play Cat and Mouse, and then one of your characters can place 2 further up the board, so you kind of get there a bit sooner. Yep. If you do that on Infinity Formula, there is a power phase that happens at the start of round 1. So the Infinity Formula will trigger. So the character that you've Cat and Moused onto the Infinity Formula will get a bonus power.
Yeah. Straight away.
Cool. Yeah. 9 times out of 10, you do it with Cable because getting Cable up there early is great. With this card, you could do it to Archangel, who is then on the Infinity Formula point and has an extra power and can pay 2. So yeah, because this card costs him 2.
Yeah.
He can pay 2 at the start of round 1 and take Psylocke from deployment and deliver her to the back B point, and she makes an attack. And then he's there to then attack as well. And if he gets the crit, he's on the back point as well. So you've got 2 characters on their back point, super aggressive, which I think is really cool and thematic.
Yeah. I think you mentioned it, but I just realized that Psylocke can be within 3 of him at the start of the move. So
that's huge.
It's a long way away. Usually it's 2, so 3 is big.
Yeah, it's really big. Cool.
Any lore about why these 2 are teamed up? Did they have a little thing?
Yeah, there were a couple in the comics. Yeah.
That's nice.
When the comic run I read, they were already together, so I can't tell you how they met. But
okay. Do they get along with each other?
Yeah.
They're
I think the run I read, Psylocke was with the Angel version, and he was kind of having like nightmares and would sometimes transform into Archangel against his will. So there was a bit of that going on.
Wow, in bed? While they're sleeping?
It was in bed, but not in the way you're thinking. Oh. Yes, he woke up in the night in a cold sweat and was, in Archangel. So they're a couple. They've been a couple for a while. Or they were a couple for a while, not anymore. All right. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So,
it's a cool card. And it's a team-up card that works, by the way. It's good.
Yeah. Now, again, in X-Men, it might be hard to find room for this, especially because Archangel, in that case, you're waiting for him to come in with Fallen, so that's not so great. It's a lot of investment, I should say. But X-Force and Servants of Apocalypse may be okay. X-Force is kind of tight on cards too, though, isn't it? Aren't they?
No, X-Force has loads of space. Yeah, X-Force, they only really take Cat and Mouse and maybe Pretty Sneaky Sis, which is, spoilers, today's Sleeve It or Heave It.
Yeah.
So you can totally fit this card in. I think it also doubles up well with Archangel's charge. So he has a charge, and that's a move action. So you could charge and play this card. Psylocke makes the attack, and then Archangel makes an attack. Which is fucking awesome, but you need 4 power for that. And as you mentioned before, he's going to struggle with power. Yeah. But Infinity Formula. Yeah. If you're playing X-Force on Infinity Formula, take Archangel, Psylocke, play Cat and Mouse on Archangel, and play this card. You're going to have a great time. And the whole game, he's going to have a bunch of power, and it's going to be amazing.
Okay, he's got one other card. It's called Death from Above. Also unaffiliated, also reactive. Archangel must spend 2 power to play this card at the start of his activation if he is overlapping a terrain feature. So basically that means standing on top of something. Mm-hmm. This turn, when Archangel attacks a character that is not overlapping a terrain feature or is overlapping a terrain feature of lesser size than the terrain feature Archangel was overlapping, when this card was played, then add 2 dice to the attack roll. Yeah, so that's a lot of words to explain what the imagery is really right there. It's death from above. He's got to go flying down from something bigger than whatever the target is.
Yeah.
But that's really cool.
I love it. But I always have the same journey with this card. I'm reading it and I'm like, loads of words, explaining, I get it. He's jumping from something that's higher. And then at the end, it just goes, adds 2 dice.
Yeah.
It's so disappointing.
Yeah. 2 power for those 2 dice once. It's just, it's just one attack. It's not his whole attack action.
I suspect this is something they wanted on his card and couldn't fit it on.
That's
such a lame effect. It doesn't belong on a Tactics card, really. Yeah. So cool, by the way. I want to see more of this. This is awesome. Give me more, because they got it with Silver Sable, right? Where she gets things if she's on terrain. She's got cover and stuff. Really, really cool. I love that they're playing with terrain, but this is not a good enough effect. It's once per game. He's spending 2. This should be 5 dice.
Yeah. Yeah, for if it's just once,
Just the once, yeah.
Yes, it's a shame because you're absolutely. I agree with you in all the comments you made. Yeah. All right.
Cool art though.
Yeah, I was just looking
cool.
at the card. His art is perfect.
Yeah.
There's one more tactics card in the box. We're going to go back to Angel. Sorry for the jumping around a bit. Angel's second card is called Ultimate Sacrifice. It's an unaffiliated reactive card. When an allied character within 2 of an allied angel is targeted by an enemy attack, Angel may spend 2 power to play this card. Angel becomes the target of the attack, regardless of range and line of sight. After the attack is resolved, if Angel is dazed or KO'd, remove up to 3 damage and all special conditions from the allied character. You mean his friend that he was helping?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the blood thing you were talking about. His blood.
Healing blood.
So it's all the blood splashing on him.
Yeah, kind of gross, but cool. It makes sense. I mean, so I have thoughts on this card. What do you think? As someone who played X-Men and complained about them dying too much.
Yeah. Let's think about this. So the ally, so it's basically a bodyguard, right? You have to be within 2, and Angel spends the 2. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so he could either take the attack and tank it, and you carry on with your turn. Mm-hmm. Or if he actually gets dazed or KO'd, which is pretty likely, as we've been talking about.
3, 3, 5 health, he's probably going to daze.
Healing 3 and all special conditions is pretty good, especially if it's like your kaiju on X-Men,
Pretty good. It's amazing.
Yeah.
We've never seen a heal like that in game. All conditions and 3 damage, that's a huge heal.
Yeah, that could be stagger. Could be...
That could be stagger, yeah.
I'm trying to think of in X-Men, who would I want to put this on? Like, who was I trying to save all the time?
So I think, you're thinking kaiju. I mean, we do have Phoenix on the way, right? That's been revealed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're thinking kaiju. I'm thinking personally, this is just another sacrifice. I think sacrifice is key in X-Men because you have so many squishy characters and a lot of them are holding extracts. They're very good at grabbing extracts safely. So I'm thinking this is just another sacrifice and the heal is just a nice bonus.
I see. Okay. Oh, interesting. Because I'm so focused on the healing part. It seems really cool.
Well, it's huge. That heal is amazing. If you like taking, Hulks or, I don't know, kaijus, like you say, if you like taking big characters in X-Men, that 3 heal is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And it's bodyguard as well, by the way, which is the best kind of, it's not taunt, it's bodyguard. So you have to be within 2 of your allies. So you can set it up, a bit defensively.
I'm just calling up the affiliation to see what other characters, he might be able to heal up. And people like Colossus, Logan,
Cable.
Yeah. But Angel is not an X-Force, no. So, I mean, he could be an X-Force as a splash. And you can still use this card because it's unaffiliated. But yeah, I think you're right. I mean, there's not a lot of big health pool guys in X-Men that you're going to try to heal up. It'd always be nice to heal a little bit. It's probably, the focus is more on it being a bodyguard. Sacrifice bodyguards.
I think so, yeah. And sacrifice is great. And even if you sacrifice and the character that did the sacrifice KOs or dazes, that's sad, but they still haven't hit the person they want to hit.
Yeah, sure.
I think that's key. And this is just that, but with a bonus effect. And it's bodyguard, which is better than sacrifice. Well, no, sacrifice is the same. It's the same measurement as sacrifice. They're both within 2 of each other.
Yeah.
So I think this is great. I think if you're taking Angel in X-Men, you take that card every single time.
Whoa.
In my opinion.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's great.
Bold. Okay.
Redirecting attacks is huge. It's game winning. Because if they, how many times have you been in a game, especially as X-Men, and you're like, I just need Storm to survive holding that extract. And then they go and double tap her, hit her twice. This can break that up. Mm-hmm. And if they don't kill her with the first attack, you can use this to guarantee they don't kill her that turn, right? It's huge.
All right. So what do we think about this box? I feel like it's, let me think. For Angel, I think if you're a big brain player who likes a lot of maneuverability, and X-Men is all about that, actually, it could be something that you would like to try. Archangel feels really good in X-Force and Servants of Apocalypse, just as being a character, like doing whatever those affiliations want to do. Maybe a little harder to justify in Uncanny X-Men. And again, if they weren't so tight on tactics cards, the Fallen card would make this really, really fun. You just gotta, if you're doing it, you really have to have a plan for how you're leaning into these characters doing their thing, because you're using up one of those precious 5 slots.
Yeah, for sure. That's the one thing X-Men struggle with, is having space for tactics cards, because they have First Class, To Me, X-Men, Xavier's Dream, which you basically take every game. Then you take in your 2 restricted cards and you're kind of done. So unfortunately, it's something I complain about and then realize I shouldn't be complaining because X-Men have amazing cards.
Yes, that's right.
They're just so good that you take them every game and it's a no-brainer. So yeah, a bit of a shame. If they ever give us magically 7 Tactics card slots, how about that? We can take Fallen and Ultimate Sacrifice.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Shall we move on to Sleeve It or Heave It?
Let's do it. Sleeve it or heave it.
Sleeve it or heave it, take it or leave it. Sleeve it or heave it, can't you believe it?
Thanks, Hannah.
Thanks for the edit. All right, can I read this one out? This is my my
this
card.
is your choice, and I do want you to read it out. But do you want to preface it a bit about why you chose this one, or is that going to come later?
Yeah, well, I chose it because we're sort of talking about X-Force. I like X-Force they've had the same roster for a while, and Archangel coming out means that they get a new toy to play with, but also Battlebound, which activates one of their other toys, Psylocke. And I love Psylocke. I want to see Psylocke on the table more often because I think she's brilliant and very fun and thematic. So, I wanted to kind of give some X-Force love because we talked about Cat and Mouse, and they only really have one other card. I mean, there's also Preserve the Dream, which is, if you like it, you love it. You might not. So this is their other card, Pretty Sneaky Sis. And I want to read this out because I want you to react to it because it's a bit similar to a Criminals card that you might have played.
Oh, okay, cool. But I'm looking at the art first, which I rarely do, honestly, even though I like the art. But somehow first of all, it's really cool. It's Deadpool and Wolverine, which is so evocative because of the film that came out. But tell me what's going on here. It has Deadpool with like a Colossus arm and then a Crimson Dynamo kind of shoulder pad. And Wolverine is holding his head like he just got conked out. What's going on in this photo? What's happening here?
I don't know. I have no idea what this is referencing. I'm sure it's a comic book that I should have run. I'm Googling Pretty Sneaky Sis, and apparently it's a quote from an advert for Connect 4.
Oh, yeah. I could have told you that.
I didn't know that.
I heard that more than once on TV on Saturday morning when I was a kid. Yeah, for sure.
Pretty Sneaky Sis.
Yeah. It's a funny advert. You should watch it sometime.
I'm watching it right now. Cause in the background.
It's very dorky, very old school TV, but it's funny. Yes. All right. I'm sitting back and I'm waiting to hear your soothing tones. Tell me about this card.
All right, cool. I just watched the YouTube video. Pretty Sneaky Sis. Cool. Right, so that's what this card's called. It's X-Force. It's reactive. During the power phase, any number of allied X-Force characters may spend 2 power each to play this card. Enemy characters must be within 2 of the characters that spent power to target them with attacks this round. So you're basically giving yourself mega stealth.
Yeah, that is just like the Criminals Syndicate card, isn't it?
Yes.
I forget what it's called now, but it does the same thing. Basically, you have to be within 2 of the target for that round.
Yes. Does it cost the same amount? Is it
I was going to just check that. So tell us your thoughts about this. I don't remember. Okay. I'm going to go look it up.
It's the Crims card. So this I love. It's very thematic, and the theme is kind of hidden a little bit. So X-Force are the team that Cyclops put together to get the dirty work done, basically, which is why they also have a card called Dirty Work, which is not so good. So we're not talking about it. But basically, Cyclops wants, he's living up for Xavier's dream, and he wants X-Men to look good, in the eyes of humans and the press, and so they're staying squeaky clean. But sometimes some people just need to die. So Cyclops accepts that. He grabs, I think Wolverine forms them. I can't remember. He grabs some people, and a team is formed of all the killers, mutant killers that are going to go and do some assassinations, basically. So I love the theme of this card because it's like they've come in. They've played cat and mouse, so they're in, right? They're in first. They've kind of infiltrated. They're on the board quicker than their opponent. They've got battle-bound maybe, so there's some early movement happening. X-Force kind of, they come in and they ambush someone. They grab all the extracts. They do what they need to do, and then they kind of leave. And I love the idea of that. And Pretty Sneaky Sis kind of makes it feel like, okay, we've got what we've came for. Now let's get out of here, right? And I really like the idea of that kind of theme and tempo changing. So this is, you play this in kind of round 3 or 4, I think. When you've grabbed a bunch of extracts and you've given yourself some space from your opponent,
right?
And if they're not within range 2 of you, you've basically staggered them.
Yeah.
And anyone that wants to hit you now has to move within range 2 and get you. So if you're going against a bunch of people that don't have charges, they don't have places, they're just kind of brawlers, then this basically staggers a whole team if your extract holders, pay for it. So I think it's pretty cool.
I'm just looking at the criminals card. It's called Shadow Organization, and it's literally identical.
Oh, it's identical. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and
2
obviously
power.
Crims play it, Kingpin Crims play that card a lot because they're all about the crisis, and we don't really talk about X-Force, the crisis. I've played a fair amount of games with them now, and they are an attrition team, but they're not really I'm going to table you attrition team, is what I found. They're no Asgard. They're no Wakanda.
Well, also, they're a long-range attrition team, right? And so
some were.
Not all of them, but I mean, they're known for their long-range attacks. And
Cable's got a range 5. Yeah,
Cable, there's a couple with range 3 ones. The point is that they could then do what they want. They can, hang back to shoot, and you have to come into them because of this card, which is really ball busting. I think if you're a fighting team.
Yeah, exactly. And also, someone like Deadpool can attack you. Stab a couple of times, get some power, and then you can't spell legendary without leg day and place himself outside of range 2.
That's right.
You're now staggered if you don't. You need to get in within 2 of him. So and X-23, she can advance on her spender, so she can attack someone and then spend them and then advance out of range 2. She staggers you, right? It's really cool, and I don't see enough people play it, including myself. I've just convinced myself to play it more.
I mean, I played that card in Criminals and loved it a lot. And I can see this being just as good, if not better, because of the reasons I stated. So I would sleeve this one for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And now I say, actually, this doesn't have to be an extract protection card. Actually, this is, if you're having a brawl in the middle, they have a lot of characters that can get out of 2 at the end of it, at the end of activation. So actually, this is just a brawl in the middle card as well, and you just stagger everyone, which means you're winning the fight. You're more likely to win the fight, right? Yeah. Obviously, you have to look out for characters that can pounce and place because they don't care. If it's Thor 2, he's going to throw himself at you and then be in range 2 anyway and just beat you up. So this is good against characters that don't have those abilities.
All right, I'm sleeving it for sure.
Great. Cool.
Thank you for that. All right, tell everybody, where can they find us if they'd like to tell us how wrong we were?
Every episode, I get corrected on the rule that I got wrong. I'm trying really hard to correct that.
Are you like one of those teachers that deliberately gets one thing wrong just to see if anyone is paying attention?
Someone asked me at the Ragnarok event yesterday if I did it on purpose to get to farm engagement, and I was like, yeah, sure. That's what I do. Yes, if you want to find us and tell us how wrong we are, you can go on our Discord. It is linked below. And if you want to support what we do, you can go on our Patreon. Norbert has been nagging me for a new microphone for a long time, and we can get him one if we get a few more patrons.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
If you go to the Patreon in the description below, we do Patreon-only episodes. Our first one just went up live for everyone else, actually, so now you know how that stuff works. Essentially, we find people that have won tournaments, we interview them, ask them how they did it. We put the episode on Patreon as quickly as we can so that it's as relevant to the meta as possible. And then a few months later, it will come out public for everyone. So you can all hear what was being talked about. But if you want the kind of up-to-date, competitive, sweaty meta stuff, you need to subscribe to our Patreon. So yeah, please do that and help us keep going.
Yep, absolutely. All right, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we look forward to sharing the next box I was going to say as soon as we can.
As soon as we can. It's Apocalypse next, and I'm scared because there's a lot of words in that box.
Oh, God, yes. Thank God it's only one character. Okay, moving on right along. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Take care.
Bye.